Welcome to our short video showcasing how the RiskView InfoSec module helps you to identify, quantify, and compare security vulnerabilities in your organization. RiskView works by determining the materiality of each vulnerability, with materiality defined as the potential dollar impact each vulnerability has on the performance of your business. Some of the business performance issues that RiskView helps you to resolve include security mitigation procedures and problem resolution, where and how to allocate your resources, and better informed decisions on your overall spending on information technologies. Our customers who use the RiskView InfoSec solution experience beneficial outcomes, which typically include a reduced organization-wide security risk profile, reduced operational expenditures, and an increased competitive advantage, enabled by the ability to refocus time and resources on the business. Like all RiskView solutions, the RiskView InfoSec module uses business risk analytics to score and compare the materiality of security risks and vulnerabilities collected from across your enterprise. Some security-oriented environments supported by RiskView typically include governance, risk, and compliance systems, with RiskView enabling the R in GRC, vulnerability scanners such as McAfee, which will be highlighted in this demo, database security monitoring systems such as AppSec, enterprise security managers, including Symantec ESM. And additionally, RiskView adapters can be quickly tailored to accept any output in a security environment, including penetration tests, audit findings, and spreadsheet data. Here is the main RiskView screen, the radar chart. The different menu tabs across the top are like a Rubik's Cube. There are many ways to view it, twist it, and turn it, enabling you to mine the same risk data from different points of view. This enterprise has collected and scored all of the data listed earlier and then tailored RiskView to its overall business environment, with vectors for each key business attribute at the top layer, including a security vector. The materiality of each vector, that is, the material risk to the business, is plotted by points on the RiskView radar chart. The farther from the center of the circle, the greater the material risk. In this case, the outlier representing the greatest risk is the security vector. By clicking on the security link, we can drill down to look at the radar chart showing the security total identified here by an InfoSec Total tab. This enterprise has chosen to set up RiskView according to the CIA model of security: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. In this view, confidentiality data is displayed in purple, integrity data is green, and availability data is shown in blue. Using business analytics, we can see that the C, or confidentiality vector, represents the highest material risk to the organization. And by their outlier positions, we can see that the greatest material risk within confidentiality is presented by IIE, internal information escapes, and PII, personally identifiable information escapes. By hovering the mouse over IIE, the greatest risk, we can see that this vector alone includes 11,686 vulnerabilities, far too many to manage. By entering the RiskView histogram view, we can twist our Rubik's Cube again to take another view of the confidentiality outliers. Here, the slider bar underneath the histogram has selected all of the confidentiality data. In this Gaussian curve, the outliers are represented by spikes at the far right. So in this view, we can see most of the confidentiality vulnerabilities gathered at the left have low material risk. By moving the slider underneath the two spikes that cross the curve at the far right, we can apply RiskView Business Risk Analytics to the two confidentiality outliers. Here we can learn more about the two outliers, IIE and PII. Now we can go back and look at the InfoSec Total tab to investigate only the vulnerabilities in the area highlighted by the two confidentiality spikes. By analyzing only this area, we have reduced the 11,000 plus vulnerabilities to a more manageable few, only 176 material vulnerabilities, which is a much easier number for the organization's Tiger team to address. RiskView also provides the Tiger team with guidance. By drilling down on the sources of the vulnerabilities, we can quickly identify the business unit, geographical location, and equipment that is the source of the highest material risk. And we can rank that equipment according to risk, with the most material risks at the top. So we can see that the highest risk is being reported by a McAfee Vulnerability Manager according to its CVE code, common vulnerabilities and exposures. Using this code, we can look up the problem resolution procedures for the code, typically found on a public URL or in a documentation PDF. So to review, using the RiskView radar chart, we were quickly able to ascertain that the organization's greatest material risk was in the InfoSec vector. By drilling into the InfoSec slice, we were able to determine that the outliers were in the C section of the organization's CIA model. In turn, within the C or confidentiality vector, the greatest material risk was in the collected IIE vulnerabilities, internal information escapes. Then, using the RiskView histogram, we were able to isolate the confidentiality risk by drilling down to CVE problem resolution information. Perhaps most significantly, RiskView was able to advise the customer which of the 11,000 vulnerabilities to address first, the 176 that presented the greatest threat to the organization according to materiality. With this information, the organization was able to prioritize its Tiger Team's risk mitigation activities and thereby improve the performance of the overall business as it relates to security management. In fact, by addressing only 1% of its vulnerabilities, putting the important ones first, the organization was able to alleviate the vast majority of its security-related material risk. Thank you very much for your time. For more information on the RiskView Information Security module, please contact us at info@rev2.com.